Okay, so I've tried to make this video before, and for one reason or another, I've not been able to make it. First, I was too emotional, and then my camera started messing up, the SD card started messing up, so now I'm using the webcam. What I wanted to talk about today was something that happened to me yesterday afternoon. I went to a local park that is fairly safe. It It's a large open space. There are some trees, but they're not huge groups of trees, not a lot of places to hide. And if something were to happen, a lot of people would see it because it's usually pretty packed with people. And I mean, it's generally a safe place. Now, there are a lot of people that stop off in this park just to watch people because, there are people watchers everywhere. And that part of the park has never been my favorite thing because I don't really like being watched by people, which is odd because I make YouTube videos. But, I'm not present during your viewing of this. I'm only present during my making of this, and if I watch the video back, I'm present for that. So we'll not get into that. Um, what I want to talk about was safety. I'm always very particular about walk when I run or walk in this park or any park anywhere for that matter. I always during my warm up look around, kind of get a feel of the place, and I kind of see if I feel safe there. And I usually try to go during the day when there are a lot of people and somebody knows where I am because I don't always run alone, but Steven's injured his knee, and I'm running by myself these past few weeks. Well, when I got out and I started to do my stretching, and I started to look around, I kind of felt okay with the situation. I was like, all right, let's get this run out of the way so I can get on to other things. And as I was walking through a field towards the track, I noticed that a man who had been sitting in his car the entire time that I was stretching got out and started walking to the track as well, which isn't uncommon. Some people just sit in their cars and kind of build themselves up, go, you can do this, you can run today. I do it sometimes. So I didn't really think it was odd, but what struck me as odd was that he kind of his path cut me off, and he would have met me at some point if I hadn't veered off to go and use the restroom first. So I didn't think anything about that. 'Cause sometimes you cross paths with people as well, but I did keep it in mind because you think of things like this when you're alone, or at least I do when I'm alone running in a park. I did my warm up laps and started my jog. And during the warm up lap, I noticed that he was over in this one part of the park there that has a few more trees than the rest. The park has one or two that kind of line the track every now and then, but there's this one area, there are about 7 to 10 trees kind of in a little clump. So it's the darkest part of the park and the spot that I always kind of keep my eyes open because, I mean, even though people can't really hide there, it is still a very shady area, and I always think of it as one of the spots that I consider less safe than the rest of the park. And he went there and started doing his stretches. It's a free country. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to get on with my exercise for today. And I started doing my laps. And when I came to this area, there were 3 benches, um, one bench before the trees, one bench after, and one in the middle. When I got about 10 feet away from this area, he starts doing push ups on the benches, leaning towards the benches and pushing himself up. Okay, sometimes guys do that, working out their arms. After I passed him, he would stop doing his push ups and then start walking behind me. And I thought, okay, well, maybe he just finished his reps and now he's going to walk. So I would do another lap and then he would be in the same spot. By the time I got back around and saw him again, I realized he wasn't doing the circuit. He was walking between the three benches and doing push ups. And okay, whatever. So again, I get 10 feet away and he starts doing push ups again. And as soon as I pass him, he gets up and starts following me. Now, this goes on for about 3 laps. And by the third lap, I am just completely, I don't feel this is right. I don't feel safe. I'm just going to leave. So I run past him. And again, he starts to follow me. And I basically jogged to my car. And the way that he was walking the previous times, he didn't look like he was in a hurry for anything. But when I got to my car and I turned around and looked back, he was maybe 20 yards away, which was he was walking at a faster pace than he had been previously walking. And he was on my side of the parking lot. I had noticed that his car was on the opposite side of the parking lot, and he didn't walk in that direction. He was walking in my direction. So basically, I just jumped in the car and left really quickly because I didn't want to give him an opportunity to get into his car and follow me home. I have been followed about 3 times in my life so far. I don't know what possesses someone to follow someone else. So I didn't want this situation to happen again because it's a possibility. So I left quickly. And I thought about calling security or the police, but other than the suspicious, well, what I considered suspicious behavior, what could I say? There was a guy that made me feel uncomfortable at the park. Get him. Um, and I'm sure he could have had a legitimate reason for walking in that direction. Looking back at his actions of doing push-ups every time I came around to hit to that side of the park, maybe he was just trying to show out, and maybe he wanted to approach me for my number. Be, not every man looks at a woman's hand to see if they're wearing a wedding ring or even care if she's wearing a wedding ring before they approach her. I mean, I've been approached even though I wear my wedding ring. If he was just trying to approach me for friendly reasons, which I seriously doubt, then I think that approaching me when I was alone and trying to exercise is not good ever for any woman because we're already on high alert. And secondly, you never follow a strange person back to their car. You just don't do that. I don't know what possesses people to do that. I felt very helpless and like for a little bit I felt like I had done something wrong. What did I do to cause this? I didn't do anything. There was nothing that I did that caused this. And matter of fact, when I felt like something wasn't right, I left immediately, which was the right thing to do. But now I have to think about, okay, when I run, I've got to find someone to run with me until Steven's leg gets better. I need to find a new place to run. It's I have to change so many things now because I'm afraid that this person in the park that followed me to the car has malicious intent. And if you think that, well, maybe it was just a one-time occurrence, and you know, I could be misreading the situation. I went to school at Mississippi State, and there was a girl who ran every morning, every day, and she noticed that a man was following her in a car. She reported it to the police. The police, um, they caught him. They caught the car. She did everything she was supposed to do, but they couldn't really charge him with anything other than he was in the car in his underwear and running shoes. Um, I think I think they could get him on indecency, but I can't remember what they gave him a warning or something. Later on, this same girl jogging as she normally did, got pulled under a pedestrian bridge by the same man and raped. So it's like those things you really have to think about. And I can't go back to that park knowing what happened to her and what could happen without really considering my safety. I mean, why is it like that? Why negative upset again? Anyway, lo-fi week, yeah. Um, thoughts on this? Um, Mom, if you're watching, yes, I did everything I was supposed to do. It was daytime. There were lots of people around. I left immediately. Don't freaking worry. I'm gonna go buy some pepper spray and get the taser fixed. My mom bought me a taser. I try to be safe when I run, both in a way that, I stretch first, I drink plenty of water, and I try not to injure myself, and I also try to make sure that where I'm running is safe, that there are plenty of people around, there's plenty of light. I'm not putting myself in a situation where later on I could be like, well, that's stupid. But you can only do so much. I wish there was a way we could rehabilitate the creepers of the world. If there's somebody out there that believes that it's okay to follow a woman to her car, to I yeah, I don't think that mm. if you're a guy and you're watching this and you think that it's okay to approach a woman on the street, I'm going to link this video about approaching women on the street, and I want you to watch it because there's a lot of good points in it. But anyway, bye.